Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs, I don't often use the word bimbo, but when I do, chances are I'm talking about AOC. Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler, yet again in my home office, yet again on a quasi-rainy Sunday afternoon in the free state of Florida. I say quasi-rainy because it's going to be sunny in about 10 minutes. That is the weather in Florida. And yes, we're going to talk about AOC and her arguably, but not arguably, defamatory tweet as relates to President Donald John Trump. Now, for those of you who may be living under a rock, I will ask again for an invitation. Please take me there with you. The world is getting very tiresome. The last week's big news has been the Epstein file, or the lack thereof, the debacle around the memo, unsigned, undated, leaked to Axios, published to the DOJ website the next day, and the ensuing storm that has still not yet passed, that lasted pretty much the better part of the week and will continue. The purpose of this vlog is not to flesh out that controversy. I think I've done a pretty good job talking about that for the better part of last week, and we will be talking about it tonight on the Sunday night Viva and Barnes Law for the People with special guest Richard Barris if you're watching it before the vlog. But there was a tweet that AOC put out on Friday, give or take, that led me to call her the bimbo word. Bimbo. B-I-M-B-O. AOC. Dictionary. Definitions from Oxford Languages. Bimbo. Bim-bo. Noun. Derogatory. Informal. Noun. Bimbo. Plural noun. Bimbos. Unattractive but unintelligent or frivolous young woman. Origin. Italian. Bimbo. Little child. Bimbo. Fellow. Chap. Early 20th century. On Friday, for those of you who missed it, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or as many people call her, Alexandria Occasional Cortex, put out this tweet. It's defamation per se, period. We'll get into it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at AOC. Wow, who would have thought that electing a rapist would have complicated the release of the Epstein files? 2:18 p.m., 2025, 07/11, 26 million views. For anyone who has not been around the channel for long enough, I will summarily go over what defamation per se is. Defamation per se is a false defamatory statement that is false and defamatory on its face with no need for further interpretation, and calling someone a rapist is defamation per se, unless of course they are in fact a rapist, which Donald John Trump is not. Now, when it comes to public figures, you have to have the actual malice standard, which is relatively high for public figures and probably even higher for the president, especially given the circumstantial context of Donald John Trump, who was, quote, an adjudicated rapist by a corrupt Judge Kaplan after the jury trial found that he did not rape E. Jean Carroll. We'll get there as well. But for now, AOC actually tweeted that objectively defamatory per se tweet, and she tweeted it from her personal Twitter account. As you can see here, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at AOC, U.S. Congresswoman, New York 14. In a modern, moral, and wealthy society, no American should be too poor to live. People funded, takes no lobbyist. Personal account. Compare that to her official account, Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at Rep. AOC. This account is maintained by federal staff to share services and legislation relevant to constituents of New York District 14. Why they both have a gray checkmark, I don't know. I don't care. Not getting into that right now. Personal account. Why is the personal account aspect of this tweet so darn relevant? Well, you do have something of immunity for government officials during speech and debate when they make certain statements in Congress or as relates to congressional business, because you don't want representatives getting sued for defamation for things they say in the pursuit of legislative purposes. When they tweet something from their personal account, I dare say that they might have lost that immunity, and I took to Twitter to say as much and hope that Donald John Trump hears it. Viva Fry at the Viva Fry. Wow, this stupid bimbo actually tweeted this defamatory tweet from her personal account. That's one good argument against any defense of government immunity. I hope you get sued into bankruptcy, Alexandria. Sue her at Real Donald Trump. And now, because the internet is what it is and corrupt judges are what they are, you will recall that in the context of the jury trial of E. Jean Carroll, where Trump was accused of raping E. Jean Carroll some time ago in some date in some decade, because she couldn't really remember the date, they put it to a jury trial. And that jury found that Donald John Trump, no, he did not rape E. Jean Carroll, and it's right there on the jury verdict form. And now let's take a brief pause from this vlog for a word from our sponsor, The Wellness Company. RFK Jr. is known for his sharp mind and relentless energy. Remember that viral video of him using methylene blue to stay focused, energized, and mentally resilient? Now you can experience those same benefits with Recharge from The Wellness Company. This doctor-formulated nutraceutical delivers a never-before-seen combo of methylene blue, NAD, and PQQ, creating a unique formula designed to optimize mitochondrial function, improve your energy, and enhance mental clarity. Methylene blue crosses the blood-brain barrier to enhance memory, focus, focus and executive function by increasing ATP production, the true fuel of our cells. It also works as a potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, helping protect against aging and cellular damage. If you're looking for a real mental and physical edge, Recharge delivers. Get 10% off plus free shipping by heading over to twc.health/Viva. That promo code will get you the discount. Once again, that is twc.health/Viva for 10% off and free shipping. Thank you, The Wellness Company, for sponsoring this video. And now back to the vlog. Now, the problem is that there's one corrupt judge who was in charge of that file, one Judge Kaplan, who came to the determination that, yeah, although it was determined that he sexually abused E. Jean Carroll and that he didn't rape her, to the extent that what he did was with his hands, allegedly, that qualifies as digital rape or something along those lines, and it's close enough to rape under the statute, so he adjudicated Donald John Trump a rapist. Judge Kaplan should be disbarred and jailed in that order. And so given that context, there are people on the internet who say, but it's true, you know. From an account Melted, at Melted Minds, that's indeed what that person is. It's not defamatory, you fucking idiot. A judge adjudicated him a rapist. To which I replied, Viva Fry, at the Viva Fry, a jury found that he didn't rape her, but a judge, quote, adjudicated, end quote, he did. Democrats are the most dishonest scumbags on earth. They don't care that it's a lie. They want to believe the lie. To which at Melted Minds replied as follows, he should sue her then, but he won't. We all know why. The implication here is that Donald John Trump will not sue Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for defamation because it would lead to discovery. He would be afraid of discovery. Truth is the ultimate defense, and therefore it's a sign of culpability that Donald John Trump won't sue AOC, because it's not like he sued anybody else for defamation for saying that he was a rapist. Wrong. Enter Democrat stooge George Stephanopoulos when he said that a jury found Donald John Trump liable for rape. Trump sued, and they settled. Viva Fry, at the Viva Fry, Democrats are impossibly stupid and dishonest, and this is from Wikipedia. In December 2024, Trump settled a defamation case with ABC News after anchor George Stephanopoulos incorrectly stated that the jury found Trump liable for rape in the case. ABC News agreed to pay $15 million to Trump's presidential library and $1 million for his legal fees, as well as issue a public apology. Well, AOC, I hope you get ready with that apology, and no, the defense, I wasn't necessarily talking about Donald John Trump. If you assume that, that's on you, not on me. Bull crap. Get ready to issue an apology, and AOC, if you had subscribed to my channel, you probably would have known better than doing this stupid tweet in the first place, which leads me to ask all of you, subscribe, make sure notifications are turned on, share my channel to help it grow, but AOC, get ready to pay up. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I hope Donald John Trump sues her, and I hope that she has to agree to settle. The only problem is going to be whether or not she settles with taxpayer dollars, that she's just going to go reach into the collective pot of taxpayers to pay off for her big, stupid mouth. But that's it. That's the vlog. I see the sun coming out, so I'm going to get ready to play with the kids. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. We've got merch at vivafry.com. You can get my kids' book on Amazon, Louis the Lobster Returns to the Sea, illustrated by Abigail Martin, the daughter of a member of our locals community. Our locals community, best community out there, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. But most importantly, exercise, eat healthy, sunlight, talk to people in real life, and now you know your vlog. Peace out, peeps. Booyah! Wrong.